Joining us now from BYU football, Raider Damuni and Logan Lutui, two key pieces of a very, very strong BYU defense. Gentlemen, welcome to Idaho Falls and the latest Fan Fest.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Happy to be here.
So it's just getting going, but how's it been so far? What's the reception like from these BYU fans for BYU football?
I mean, anywhere you go, there's a great turnout for BYU football. We have fans everywhere. Me and Raider were talking about, we went to a Fan Fest in Texas last year, and we couldn't believe the turnout. So it's always great to see BYU fans show up and show out.
Logan, let's start with the defensive line because you just add Justin Kirkland, very, very capable transfer from Oklahoma State. Keanu Tanuvasa is in the mix. And then to your credit, you bring back some real core depth and leadership there. What do you expect from the defensive line in terms of improvement, again, as we push into year 3 of Jay Hill as your defensive coordinator?
Yeah, I think we just, especially from last year, losing a lot of veteran players, we're really lucky to pick up these 2 new transfers who have a lot of experience under their belt. So we're excited. We have a lot of upcoming talent that we're excited they're going to show out in this upcoming season. So I'm excited for them. But yeah, we're going to get after the quarterback. I think that's the biggest thing that we have on our list this year is get after the quarterback more aggressively than we did before.
To tag on to that, Logan, I feel like the D tackles, we'll give them a little more love because they're kind of like the unsung heroes. You know, John and Blake did such a great job for both of you, really, because they're going to tie up things inside so you can come off the edge and kill quarterbacks and you can come run the alley. And how important is it for these new guys that come in to have a big impact at D tackle to replace those 2 big dudes there?
Yeah, the biggest thing about our D tackle room is that you have to play the part. Like, there's a lot of time you're going to be taking double teams. You're going to be doing a lot of the dirty work. But as you can see by Blake and John, that you're still able to make plays, and that's the biggest thing is that you're just going to – sometimes you're going to have to stick through some tough times, holding on 2, maybe 3 blocks, but it opens up for the rest of the defense, and we were really grateful for them, and we know these 2 new guys are going to be more than capable.
Raider, a question for you. Where did the safeties specifically take a step forward through spring football, coming off a season where that room was really, really good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I mentioned this before, too. I think just the understanding of the defense, understanding the defense as a whole. We really wanted to take it as a position group, take that to the next level. I think that's what we really wanted to do coming into the offseason because, you know, we've been under the system now with Coach Hill, and so it's our responsibility to know everything now. We see everything on the field, and so I think that's where we improved the most during spring, and that's where we got to work at the most is understanding the defense, the ins, the outs. Not just our position, but the other positions so we know where to be and where to fit.
You know, when did that light bulb come on from you? BYU played a lot of young safeties. You and Folly Tao and Tommy all played significant roles last year. Was there a point in the season last year where you felt almost like the light bulb come on, where you thought, man, I know what I'm doing. I was a great player instinctively, but now I'm starting to understand it. Do you remember that moment?
I think it was actually the Kansas game. The Kansas game was Crew got hurt, unfortunately, and that was like the game that I kind of played the most out of the whole season up until that point. And just getting those reps, you know, not being perfect, making mistakes here and there, but bouncing back and knowing what I'm supposed to do and gaining that confidence really helped me to build confidence off of that. And so I think that's the turning point for me in the season where I felt more comfortable. I always knew what I was capable of. I just had to trust myself, and so that's kind of where things changed for me.
Raider Damuni and Logan Lutui on BYU Sports Nation at the Idaho Falls Fan Fest. Just out of curiosity, what is it like to review film, especially when you are looking back on a mistake with your position coach, in this case with Jay Hill, as he's breaking down your play as a safety, Raider?
Oh, it's you go into those meetings and you're prepared, you know. But I think it's good because it holds us all to a high standard. You know, we know that the coaches love us. Even Gavin's in there. He holds us to a high standard, and you know when you're gonna get it, and you just take it and you say yes sir, and move on from it and work to be better. But it's been great playing under Coach Hill. I think it's something that elevates the whole room as a whole and the defense as a whole as well.
And Logan, for you, with your position coaches, Sione Poha and Kelly Papingo, what are those, I'm sure, humbling moments like?
Yeah, when you step into the room after a game day and it's film, you know they're going to point out some things that you need to work on that you did wrong. and they're not going to mince words. They're going to tell you straight up what you did wrong, how to fix it, what you need to improve on. But after that meeting, we move on. They don't bring it up throughout the year or throughout that week. They know that what they need to get out and correct, they do it right there. We go to practice, it's clean slate. Now we're moving forward.
Love that.
I have a question I want to ask both of you, but before that, you actually call Gavin sir. No wonder. He comes home, he wants Brenda and I and Abby to call him sir now, and that's because Raiders call him. No wonder his head is this big. So I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. So managing expectations. This is what I want you to both address here. Last year you come in, no expectations really. Everybody's saying you're not even going to have a winning season. Couldn't they get to 4 games?
4.5 wins. Get out of here.
What is going on here? So you had this chip on your shoulder that everybody externally just put on your shoulder. How do you manage expectations now after an 11-win season and everybody talking about how great you are? We'll start with you, Logan, and then we'll go to Raider.
Yeah, I mean, I think they based that off of our previous season. But if you watch those games in 2023, we went over the film. We were so close. Like, it was just plays away from a lot of games. And then it just ended up with the record that we ended up with. And so when we went into 2024, this past season, we knew what we were capable of. We knew what kind of depth we had, what talent we had. And the biggest thing Coach Kalani kept saying to us is just stay humble. We're going to prove them. Like, they don't know what's coming. Just stay humble. Keep staying the course. Don't get too big-headed, and that's how it turned out last season. And we loved our season, but it hurts us that we let those 2 games go because we know there was a lot more on the table we could have done.
So still hungry, Raider? Is this how do you stay hungry this year then?
I think we're more hungry. I think when you look back to our 2023 season, a lot of people will think, oh, they're getting underestimated and they're projected to win 4 games. And it gives you a chip on your shoulder. But like Logan said, losing those 2 games, knowing where we could have been, gives you even more of a bitter taste in your mouth. And so I think going into this season, we're even more motivated to be better than we were the season before. And something that needs to continue to grow is our desire to be better. And I think that's a good sign for us going into the season. Because I think people can be satisfied with an 11-win season, but it honestly hurts us still. So going into the season, we want more.
No doubt. Great accomplishment to win 11 games and to finish in a 4-way tie for first place in the Big 12 Conference.
So are you guys telling us that Kalani's statement, they don't know what they about to find out, still applies this year?
Absolutely.
They don't know what they about to find out.
They don't know, but they about to find out.
About to find out, right?
Yep.
I love that. And I love the motivation.
There you go,
baby. There it is on cue. I love it. So what's it like to play for Kalani? He just seems – I know that people don't see the edge that he comes with to keep you guys motivated, but what's it like to play for him and be with him every single day?
I think it's a blessing to play under Coach Kalani. A lot of people don't – like you said, they don't see his the edge and him getting mad, but he holds us to a high standard as well. But – he has so much genuine love for the players at BYU and for the people he coaches. And it's someone you can always rely on, you can always go back to if you need any help or anything. And so I think it's been a blessing to play under him. Plus, he's a smart coach. He knows a lot about football, and he's well accomplished. So it's been a blessing for me for sure to play for BYU, and I can say that for you as well.
Yeah, Coach Kalani, he's one of the smartest coaches I've been around. People don't really talk about how smart. He's a very smart coach, and you can tell by his coaching staff that he brings on. But on top of that, he's so humble. It's crazy to be he never thinks of him as the biggest man in the room, especially in our team meetings. He's making sure he slaps everybody's hands going in the room and make sure he acknowledges anybody, no matter what standard you are on the team. But he just, like Raider was saying, he holds us to a high standard, and he's just a great coach to play for, and I'm grateful for Coach Kalani.
We're under 4 months away from the season opener on August 30th against Portland State. And I know in some capacity that's it's still a while, but it feels like it's right around the corner. And thinking about running out in front of a raucous LaVell Edwards Stadium crowd on that date, what kind of emotions do both of you feel? Logan, we'll start with you.
Oh, anytime we get to play at home, we cannot take that for advantage, for granted, because the Rock is crazy. That home field advantage we have is like no other. And so it's whenever we play at home, Coach K-Pop, he emphasizes to our players is protect this with your life. Don't let nobody come into LaVell Edwards and walk over. This is your house. Don't let nobody come over, take over your house. And that's the mindset anytime we play in that stadium. And on top of that, we have one of the best home field advantages. So
running out of the tunnel, Raider.
Oh my gosh, that's from the first time I did it against Sam Houston State to now. It's hits the same, and
Never gets old.
Never gets old, man. There's nothing like Lavelle Edwards Stadium on a Saturday, and so just super excited to be out there again, be in front of the best fans in the nation. I'm telling you, we go to places, we play in a lot of different environments. BYU second to none, and it's such a blessing to be able to play for a program who play for fans that care about the sport, that care about the university. And you feel that every Saturday, and you feel their support. So I'm super excited to kick that off this season.
We are hyped, and these two are clearly humble and hungry for more. Logan Lutui and Raider Damuni on BYU Sports Nation. Great to have you with us, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Guys.